I'm Amy.
And I'm Chris,
Best friends of 30 years.
and we believe A Course in Miracles is the most enlightening,
Albeit slightly difficult,
personal development course we've come across.
we've walked many miles
In several countries,
analyzing and applying the course
we're bringing you our insights,
and challenges
our loves and fears.
as we apply this course to our daily lives
We love its non-denominational and all-inclusive nature,
and want to share how you too can apply these higher principles in a practical
and hopefully more easeful way.
grab a tea
Or a glass of wine,
and settle in for some laughs and truths as we share real life tribulations.
and how we shift them into miracles. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to One Simple Truth. It's Chris
And Amy.
and Jamie.
Woo, that rhymes. I'm loving this.
We're so excited to have you, Jamie. Jamie Nowak is here with us today. And Jamie and I connected a while ago through a coaching company that my mom was involved with, funny enough, a real estate coaching company. And I just loved your energy and your, it was just such an upbeat conversation. So I'm so excited to reconnect here and just to share a little bit more about you. I love what you sent over for your bio is woman, mama, wife, leader, radiant force of hope. I love that so much.
Boom.
Right? And then the business stuff, which is so amazing. Award-winning international keynote speaker, leadership expert, and author, which we're going to talk more about in a little bit. And that really you've been a leading force in business and professional growth for over 3 decades, which is
Yikes.
amazing.
Crazy.
So welcome to the
Welcome.
show, and thanks for being here.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here with both of you. And that first meeting that we had, Chris, we're kindred spirits, right? Which is why we're here today. We see each other's energy. We honor that energy. And I feel the same way about you. So thank you
Aw,
for having me.
that
Oh,
gives
I
me
love
the
that.
tingles. Thank
Yes.
you. And it's so true because we were like, we haven't chatted in so long, but you feel that energy with people on social media. And that's like the great part of social media, that you can stay connected in that way.
Yeah, one of the
And
good things, right?
I just have to say that because Chris and I have known each other for so long, I always hear the stories of when Chris, you're such a good connector. Like you go out and you find people and you connect with them in such a deep and spiritual way that when you come back to me, you're like, oh, I'll say like, oh, how was the conference or whatever? You're like, oh, I had like the most amazing conversation. And like you find find these connections. And I think like this is what the world needs more of, is to have these
Aw.
conversations and then to also like double down on it, come later and rehab the conversation, reconnect, retalk. Like we want this momentum going. We want the juices flowing in this like beautiful, creative, like you said, find your kindred spirits and just like have fun chatting and talking about what the good things are in life.
Yeah.
Aw.
Letting the magic flow, right?
Yes.
You guys are going to make me cry. I love that. And I'm just thinking it's so funny because I set the intention before I go to things like that because
Yeah,
I
you
just
do.
can't stand small talk. So I'm like,
No.
I'm going to have at least one meaningful conversation or super fun or I'll take either. Like
Yeah.
both are great.
That is a real thing. She really does that. And then she'll be like, I went to a campfire. I had the most amazing conversation. I'm like, I believe you. Like, I know you did, right?
There is no doubt. And I'm like the same thing. It's like the shallow talk.
Yeah.
I'm really not interested. I mean, I'll do it for a minute or two and then I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I have to go do something else.
Right.
It's
Or
so
like
Love
in
you
that,
and
draining.
later. Love
you're
you.
like,
so
how
draining.
can we connect in that moment? You're like, what do we have in common that's deeper than just kids baseball? What do we have in common that's just deeper
Right.
than, whatever?
Although you did tell me a story about a mom clearing the energy and running around the bases with sage. I
Oh
mean,
my
we're bringing it in. I
Can
love
I please just tell that story really quickly, Jamie? I really want to get to you, Jamie.
No, I
have-
totally am into this. Go ahead.
I was at my like 11-year-old's baseball game, not to like, undermine the seriousness of 11-year-old baseball, but there was
No, it's serious, man.
It is
Especially
a
in
whole
Southern
thing.
California.
It is.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Oh Oh, goodness.
And I was sitting next to a mom that I had known for a little while, and we were pretty close, and we always sit and chat and watch the game together because our sons play on the same team. And then this new mom comes over and she starts, she introduces herself and she starts chatting. And after she left, my friend said to me, oh no, it wasn't my friend, it was her. She confessed to this. She said, when my son had a really, really, really bad game and they kept having all these errors, I went and I saged the baseball diamond. I got my sage and I ran the bases. And
Oh, I love it.
right? I was
It's
like, I
just
love that.
my favorite story ever. Oh my
Why
gosh.
didn't I think of that?
Right? What the heck? What have we been doing? Yeah.
Like, I've been doing my own spaces and stuff, but why not that?
Why not the outdoors, public space, public places?
Now
Oh my gosh.
my senior who plays baseball in high school is going to be like, "What
Ooh.
are you doing?" You
Right.
Yeah,
can't
now
do
you've
that,
got a
Mom.
new move or a new threat.
You
Yeah, new
cannot do that,
threat.
Mom. There's no saging the bases.
I can just imagine, like, if a coach saw that, like, oh my gosh, like only in Southern California.
That
What is
might be a
happening?
game changer. Dare I
Okay,
say.
so on that note, with creating miracles for your son, for your family, whatever,
Oh,
we'll do
Lord.
whatever it takes. What does it mean for you, Jamie, to be miracle minded?
I can't believe we're starting with this question. I was like, wow, because this
Off the
this
bomb
is
right
how
away.
we go deep
We go
real
deep.
quick.
We get in there.
Right? We've done our minute of small talk.
Yeah,
Now
that's
we're
right.
diving right in.
Moving on. Okay,
my
well, here it is for me. And sometimes to the chagrin of my family, actually. But it's really the trusting and the believing that I am on the perfect path, especially when it's rough, especially when it's not clear. I mean, how many times have we been in that situation? Like, which is the right way to go? What do I do here? Or this isn't what I expected. And so maybe that's the universe telling me something, right? But it's trusting and believing that I am on the perfect path and I'm ready for that next miracle to come through. And in fact, I'm going to ask for it. I'm going to say, what magic are you going to bring me today?
Love it.
I love it.
And try to stay in that space the best we can. And I'm not Pollyanna and I'm not all sunshine and rainbows. However, how we think about things truly makes a big difference.
That is so true and so crazy. I'm rereading the course, A Course in Miracles, which,
Yeah.
we focus on a lot in the podcast. And it was just talking about that this morning. It's about having perfect trust.
Mm.
Oh,
And
I was
how
like,
difficult is
yes,
that?
right?
It's so difficult. If it was easy, it wouldn't even really be trust, because you'd be
Exactly.
like, oh, I'll go with the logic on this. Like it's more logical, rational. Yes, I see where this is going, or I see why I would believe that I can be okay with this. But you're right. Trust is such a big challenge, and it delivers.
Yeah, I was going to say, and so empowering too, when
So powerful.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you, like, what's your process for trusting? Like, how does the guidance come to you? How does that work for you?
Well, some of I mean, this is a scary word for me and probably a lot of people, but it is in the surrender of it. It is in the, okay, here's where we are. How do I love where we are? And for me, it's a process of meditation every morning, and making the list of the things that I am so grateful for, because that list is just always endless. Like I can never, it really is, even in our darkest times, you can come up with at least a couple things that you can be truly grateful for. And I think it's just that mindset again of even, and when my mindset goes wonky, I'm not saying I wake up positive and miracle ready all the time, right? It's like, so some days are more challenging than others, as we all know, as mamas, as women, as all the roles and responsibilities that we're juggling. And so Sometimes it's me getting outside into nature, which I do every day. So I'm loving the Tahoe pictures, Chris. I was telling you, I was like, bring it on, because that's one of the places that I find rest and healing and rejuvenation and a fresh perspective if I need it. And so I go there to listen, to think, to talk to myself. Yep. And to, okay, I've got to shift this energy. I've got to move this block. This is, this is what's happening right now. How do we move forward?
So awesome. Yeah. And asking that question. And I was going to say too, I love what you were saying. I mean, of course, about nature, so powerful. And the gratitude, because it's so easy to just get stuck in problems, right? And what's going on. And that's so true. If we can just find one or two, it totally shifts our energy to
It
things that we're
can. And then
grateful
I
for.
believe that shifts how your day can impact you, right?
Yeah, because you're
It's a
kind of
big,
moving yourself out of all the fear and you're bringing yourself into this like different mentality. And it's so much fear, so much worry can just keep feeding itself for sure. So if you can kind of like intentionally break that, be like, well, what is it? Is there one thing that I can feel like present in the present that is a good feeling,
that's
right?
right. And it is, I love that you said that. It is, and sometimes I say to myself, today I'm going to buy into the faith and not the fear.
Ooh,
So if
that's good.
if you feel it coming on, like a couple days ago, I woke up kind of anxious and I'm like, whoa, what is this? What is this? Instead of going, shut up, stuff it down, stuff it down. I have learned through the years and through all the things that our feelings have messages. And not that I can necessarily let them completely drive the car, but they're there to give me a gift of some sort of realization, and I need to pay attention to it.
Ooh, I love that so much. They're really a
Yeah.
gift. And it sounds like that's the surrendering piece you're talking about too.
So,
Surrendering
so
to the feeling, not letting it take you totally down, but like, why is this showing up instead of trying to just stuff it down? Because it always resurfaces,
oh, it
right?
always will. And it'll come back with a vengeance. Like if you
Right.
just keep stuffing it down, it's going to come back in disease. It's going to
Mm,
come back in you biting somebody's head off that just kind of
mm,
looked at you differently. And you're like, what? And you're reacting. And it's because we probably didn't address something else.
mm.
And so this is going to sound a little weird or interesting or maybe crazy. I don't know. It's fine. Sometimes this stuff is, right? So when that anxiety arises, I will give her a name
Ooh.
and I will say, okay, anxious Annie, for example. That's my name for the anxiety that can come up sometimes. I'm like, all right, sweetheart. And I will treat her like a young child. And I will realize actually it is me in my younger version, probably,
Mm.
right? What does that child need from me right now? And so I will bring her close. I like have this visualization. I'm going to bring her close and I'm going to sit her down and say, listen, baby, I know you're trying to protect me. And I need you to know everything is going to be okay. We need to trust and believe that everything is going to work out the way that it's supposed to. And it may not be the way that we wanted. And we may not see the miracle for many, many, many months or years down the road, but we've got to trust and believe and do our best with what we've got.
That's
Love it. That is
amazing.
so powerful, Jamie. I feel like that's so cool and so practical because we talk on here a lot about how there's like, we live in a world and we're always caught up in these things, and like anxiety is a good word just to sort of blanket that, the
Yep.
fear, the worry, or the guilt, or all these things. Like, and it's like a little, gnawing unhappiness, right? And to come in as another self, it shows like this strength is in me. I have this.
Mm.
It's not it's a part of me, and I can play that as like the part of me that's the parent and the part of me that's the child. um and if you go even further, you're like, this is the entire you. This is you. Like, this parent is the real you, and you're,
All the layers, right? We all have
yeah,
so
so
many complex layers and things that we've worked through and things that we haven't worked through. And but at the end of the day, when you become an adult, right, you have to be shepherding that that child that maybe didn't get what they
Mhm.
needed, or they did get what they needed, or what you're wounded for this or that, or whatever it is. It's like, okay, how can I now move forward and give myself what I need?
yeah.
Mhm.
And it's accepting of what the part of you that does feel
Mhm.
anxious. It's not, it's accepting of that. It's like
Mm.
allowing you to still have that, like you said, sitting with those feelings and being okay with it, things that are happening, and not just trying to like cut them off and stop them. It's like you're allowing both things at the same time. Like you're letting
Mm.
yourself have the feelings, and you're also saying, and there's a part of me that knows this is going to be okay. And it's
Right.
true. We do know that on a deep, deep level.
We do. And it's also part of that whole process is moving through the emotions,
Yeah.
moving through the feelings, right? And working them out. Like emotions are like energy in motion. We've got
Mhm.
to keep them flowing and keep them moving so that they don't get stuck.
Ooh, I love that energy and motion. Emotion. That's great.
Wild.
I love that. And I love that you said it our emotions give us those clues. Like there's some kind of suffering going on in our lives, right? That's pulling us away from that peace, that joy, that happiness. So what is it, right? And it might not show up right away, but it will.
No.
And just having that trust, you're like, yeah, I can just let go of it because I know it's going to show up and present itself.
Yeah, but I think when you acknowledge it,
Hmm.
I think it doesn't, it no longer can control you. You
Yeah.
acknowledge it and you say, I see you. I understand something's happening here. I'm paying attention the best I can, and we're going to move forward from here the best we can, whatever
Yeah,
that looks like.
diffuses it a little bit. Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah, that's
Exactly right.
awesome. So it sounds like you've gotten to be really good at trusting. And I know you said you still have your times, but like realizing what that is for you, like you'll meditate or you'll go for a walk in nature and trusting that you're being shown the way or those next steps.
Especially when it's all sideways and you're like, I'm not, I have no idea. Like, however, here's what I do know. I'm
Mm,
taken care of all the time and at exactly the right time.
mm,
And so these beliefs that I have, these principles that I have, I continue to remind myself of those things. We all need reminders, like especially
mhm,
when things are tough.
mhm,
And so I when I'm doubting, because of course I doubt. Uh, when I'm in fear, of course I do. We're all human. It's just like, how do I find the light?
mm,
How do I find my way out of here? And I've realized these practices over years that really work and help me, and hopefully other people can try them and help them too.
I love that. And can you share with us an experience you've had of where that has been the case, where maybe something heavier was going on and you had the faith, and then it ended up being that sort of blessing in disguise with, and following, trusting?
Yeah, well, everybody take a deep breath for this one, because
Okay.
I have an inventory of things that I can call on to
Mm,
to make this point. Okay. The one I usually go back to is when I was building a really successful real estate business and
mm,
running a real estate office, and making magic and connecting with people and all those things. I was also building my life, right? I was in my late 20s. And along the way that I'm building my life, I meet JR. Hey,
mm.
JR had tattoos before they were cool. JR had flowing long hair down his back and rode a Harley. And I was completely captivated by him from the very beginning, probably because he was a little dangerous, right? I don't know what that is in our 20s, but okay. So, you know, the courtship begins, right? Which is crazy to me. I was like, wow, how could this guy be interested in me, right? Not really realizing my value or my power at that time, right? Because how often is it pushed aside, or you're too much, you're not enough, blah, blah, blah. And so the courtship began, and we were dating, and he, you know, you want to go for a ride? And I launched my backside on the back of the Harley without a helmet and all these things. And we have an amazing and crazy ride, right? It's always both. It's never one or the other. And but at some point after a few years, you know, we get married and we go to one of those events, Chris, that you and I met through, and we start setting goals together. Which anybody listening to this, when you get on the same page with your spouse and you're like talking about what you want to do and where you want to go and the life you want to have and all these things, how magical is that? Right. And now it's so fabulous, because before that it was like, are you going to that cult meeting again? You know?
Totally.
You with me on that?
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. And we're setting goals, and then we go back home and we're living better, we're making better choices. You know, he maybe put the whiskey down a little bit more, and he's getting out running regularly, etc. And we're like, this is going to be amazing. And you're looking out into your future, and you're like, the kids we're going to have, and the places we're going to go, and the adventures we're going to go on. And on a Monday morning, he goes out to take a run, and he didn't come home.
Oh.
And I'm a 31-year-old widow. And he died of a massive heart attack at 33 years old.
Oh my gosh.
So the bottom of my life dropped out. So as you can imagine, whatever you had going on at that time, none of it matters anymore.
Wow.
Whatever it was, the success that you had, the miseries that you had, whatever it was, it doesn't matter, because all you're thinking about is, what should I have said? What should I have done? What was our last conversation? You know, all of those things. And I'm not saying I ever did this perfect, because grief is such a personal thing. But here's what I decided to do. After a couple of weeks, I'll be honest. I mean, what I did at first is actually I couldn't breathe, but I could drink pretty good. And you're right. You're like, okay, I gotta numb this out a little bit. Like, the pain is so intense that, like, where do I go from here? I have no idea. Like, I'm just trying to exist. But I made a choice. And we all do when stuff like this happens. You have a choice to make. I could curl up in the ball and die with him. Or I could get up and I could honor myself, and I could honor him in the life that I live. I've seen a lot of people make that other choice. Something happens and they never quite get over it. They never quite get up and say, but wait, I'm still here. That must mean I have something to give. I have something important to do. They don't. And they're just like, well, that happened. It's over. Now my life's going to suck. And I feel you. If you go that path for a while, I get it. I just wasn't ever built that way. And I said, I'm going to make a choice, and I'm going to honor myself, and I'm going to honor him, and I'm going to get up, and I'm going to rise, and I'm going to shine, and I'm going to hopefully help lead the way for other people. So here's where the trust came in. Like, so I didn't know what that was going to lead to, right? But what that ended up leading to, after a few years of me getting up and doing my best, and some of those days taking a shower was a victory. I'm being very honest with you, right? And then it got a little better, and then the grief would come back in, you know. So it's not linear. I can't just say, oh yes, and from there it was just amazing. No. And there are still some days today, like like this happened, 13, 14, 15, 16 years ago. And you're like, where is this coming from? And it can still come back. But here's what happened in my journey. Because I trusted some days, because I got up, because I kept moving forward, I was given a new perspective through that adversity. And that was, whoa, our time here is limited. And there's so much magic around if we just look for it. There's so much magic in the morning coffee, in paying attention to the beautiful nature around you, in focusing in and having that conversation with that person that you love. There's so much magic in that. And so I got up and I continued on my way, and I'm like, now we got to live with more passion. Like I was passionate before, but now it's on steroids, and I have to make sure I spread this message, right? Our time is limited. And there's so many beautiful things that we can do and be part of if we choose to. And so I did a lot of healing. I did a lot of crying. I did a lot of learning, and I took a lot of leaps. I took some risks where I left. So I rebuilt my life after all that happened, just as an example. I built a new home in Arizona, which is where I was at the time. My home was overlooking the Red Rocks, not Sedona, but there's a red mountain in Mesa, if you know it, that's stunning. And this new place I had built looked at that. I had a beautiful backyard. I had just gotten done landscaping. And I had a call that said, hey, we want you to come to Carlsbad, California to go to work for that company, Chris, where you and I met. And they said, we want you to help spread our message around the world.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, you're crazy. You're nuts. I'm not going. I just like, do you know what I just did? Like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Do you know that that's how I just feel right now? And now what? We're going to shift it over here. And so that took me a little while to work through, but I eventually said, well, what do I really want to do? I want to help people. I want to spread not just the message of this company that's offering me this opportunity, but this message that, look, people, we got some life to live. And why don't we try to live our best life instead of just getting by? Why don't we live our best life and do what we can to make that happen? There are lots of things we cannot control, but what can we? And that leap, a few years later, I'm walking down the halls of that organization, and I've done a lot of healing and I've done a lot of growing, and now I'm traveling for that company, and I'm having a blast living my purpose at that time. And I run into a man. His name is Jason. We have a 45-minute conversation that felt like, what was that? Like it was a spark. It was like we connected deeply. There was no shallow conversation. It was like, wow, like this person gets me. And who was that again? Like, I have no idea. We've been working at the same place for over 2 years. But as we know, timing is everything. We had that conversation, and that led to the most incredible journey of my life, where a few years later, we got married. And from there, I had these 2 beautiful, amazing children that never would have happened in this way had I not gone through that other tragedy, disappointment, lesson, whatever it was. I would have never been here today. Having gone through the experiences that I've gone through, having lived the life that I've lived. And yeah, do I believe the best is yet to come? Absolutely, I do. But that right there, when I say I'm a radiant force of hope, that's the message I want people to get. That, yeah, I thought it was over.
Yeah.
But it was just the beginning.
Yeah. It's funny. Your one little part of your story just gives me the little chills where you mentioned getting your home finished in Arizona. And the minute you were finished, you got the call. And in a way, you're like, well, can't you see it? I was, oh my gosh, I just got this like feeling like, yeah, as soon as you were Phoenix risen from the ashes, they're like, she's ready. Okay, call her over.
Ready
Like,
or not.
Ready or not,
not.
right? Timing is so interesting. Like you finished that healing, and to you, you're like, good, I made it. I established. But they were like, no, you like you got to the next level. Okay, you're ready for the next level. Like life is so interesting that way. But I love your relaying that story and your passion for it. And I do think it's so interesting how like when we go through adversity like that, it is so hard. And I'm sorry for your loss. It's very, very difficult to get through something like that. And I love that you've taken that and said like, how has it, made me more of who I always wanted to be, or of who we, as you and your previous partner wanted you to be,
Let's honor that. And then let's see what's next.
Right.
And I love that I know so many tears in my eyes and tingle moments back and forth. Oh my gosh. And just so many things. And we had a grief counselor on a couple of weeks ago. And so it's, that just the timing that you're our next guest is so interesting as well.
Yeah, not interesting.
Right? Not a coincidence. And
No.
and I don't think I knew that part of your story. So it's just incredible. Like the way you moved through it. And I love what you said, that you had a choice and you kept choosing to trust. And even though you still, of course, had your moments of, grief
What the
and
hell?
being down and like, but like every day you're like, I'm still going to choose this. And it might be that you need to stay in bed that day or whatever that is, but you kept choosing like to, to trust in something bigger. So, I just think what a powerful example and inspiration you are for so many people. Like there is still a choice, even if we feel like there's not,
Yes, you
Yeah.
do have more power than you think you do.
Yeah.
And you are stronger than you ever
You're
knew possible.
stronger. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like a brick wall. I think when that we're in a position like that, and it could be in any kind of way or any scenario in life, and I'm sure we've all been there where we feel like we just have hit a brick wall. Like I can't do any more. I can't do any, I can't, you feel like you're stuck. And I think what you've just described for me is that like there's always like a glimmer of hope, or there's always a better way. And you can sit at the brick wall for as long as you want, like to
Absolutely.
our honor of that, honoring that, those emotions and everything. You can sit there as long as you want, but the minute you're like, you know what, maybe there is better on the other side of the wall, and maybe I'm like willing to be open to that thought. And like, I think that's just a really strong message, especially anyone who's having a hard time right now or ever. Like,
Yeah, it's like
please
keep going. Please keep going.
Yep. There's
Keep going,
something
because
else.
you never know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I never would have, like, I couldn't have planned that, how it all went.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's truly incredible. It just reminds me of what you were saying at the beginning about surrendering, right? It's such a surrender.
So scary.
Yeah. And making that move, like you were saying, aim from Arizona. I mean, another, like as if the first part wasn't scary enough, and to get through. Oh my gosh. And then that, and taking that leap. And then it just, like you said, sometimes it can take years to unfold and you see why. And
if ever, sometimes we don't even really know.
We don't even know. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like, okay, well, there's a purpose here. There's a lesson here. There's something here. I can tell you, I live a lot differently today than I did then.
Yeah.
So
because you learn when you make those, when you do that surrendering, like it becomes a new you. Like there's a new way of doing life, even if it's subtle or no one can see it but you. Just that There's like a new way of being open.
That's right. And that's, I think, the perspective of it. It's like,
Mm.
so just randomly when people are like, I've had the worst day. I'm like, not really.
Mm.
No, what? Did you sit in traffic? Did you have, I mean, even like there's nothing anybody could say. I mean, and people listening to this have gone through so much worse things than what I've just
Mhm.
described. Like things that we can't imagine that would bring us to our knees even further.
Mhm. Mhm.
And yet they are somehow resilient.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's
that
inspiring to
choice.
me.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
inspiring to me.
It is so inspiring. And just, yeah, I think the biggest takeaway is that we do have that choice.
Choice.
And, back to A Course in Miracles, it's about choosing love versus fear, right? And
Yes.
that's really what it is, choosing love. And I love everything that you described was about being more passionate and having those like deeper connections and relationships. And it's like, that's the love. Yeah.
That's one, and that's my through line. Honestly, when I got really clear on it all, it
Mm.
got real simple. My purpose, my through line is to love myself and to love others. But it has to start with loving myself
Mm.
first so that I have that capacity. And a
So
lot of
true.
times we get it a little mixed up, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. We tend to look outside of ourselves.
Yes. Yeah. And we tend to put ourselves last.
Yes. Well, and I feel like this is a great segue into your book. So can you tell us more about that and where people can find you and your book and all of that good stuff?
Yeah, so over my 3 decades, yikes, of my leadership experiences, from being an entrepreneur to running, a multi-million-dollar office, and then having that amazing opportunity to be in that corporate space as a leader for over 20 years, the number one challenge that I face, and that I've talked to thousands of people over these years, the number one challenge is, especially for women, I have not enough time.
Mm.
There is too much on my plate. I am overwhelmed. I am approaching burnout, which means they were probably burned out several months ago. I have no time for me. I'm barely making it to dinner. Like, oh God, do I have to make dinner again? Like all of those things. Like, how do I make all of this happen? Because we love people, we want to serve, we want to help, we want to take care of everyone. And
Mm.
as women, we do it, man. And we do it so brilliantly and so beautifully, sprinkling our magic everywhere. But a lot of times we don't give that magic to ourselves first. And
Mm.
so that leaves us feeling depleted, exhausted, overwhelmed. But yet we keep saying yes
Right.
to
There's still
things that
that.
we have no business saying yes to. And so I'm like, okay, I have books in me. I have several books in me. I know I do. What's the first one I know I need to write? And I started this book like 8 or 9 years ago,
Mm.
writing it in journals and talking about it here and there and everywhere. And then I just decided, like, this has to be my first one because I want to make a difference. I want to be helpful. And I wrote the book for myself. And I wrote the book for my best friend. And I realized how much those practices helped me. And so,
Mm.
and then how I was able to gift it to other people and see it help them. And so that created the birth of this. Look at this beautiful little book,
Ah.
Unleash Your CEO Mama. It's like one of my babies. Okay, I know you understand this, Chris, right? But here's what I'm super proud of, because we could lock the doors here and I could talk on this podcast with both of you for hours.
Mm.
Like I could tell you everything you ever or never wanted to know. What I love about this book is it's an easy read. It's 129 pages if you read the last page about the author. It's a beautiful, mighty little book that gives you practical applications
Mm.
to help you say no to that frenetic pace, to that never enough time, to that overwhelm, and start creating or co-creating a new path forward
Uh,
where
love
you
it.
design your daily flow the best you can. And it's the
Mhm.
7 steps on what I've learned and what I've studied and what I've researched over the years that says, let's do this. Let's try this.
Amazing.
Never
Yeah.
perfect. Just try it.
Yeah. Just
Give
try,
yourself a little more
yeah.
freedom. Give yourself a
Right.
little more permission to love on yourself. And you're going to be even shining brighter for those you love and those you lead.
I love that. For those you love and those you lead. That's amazing. Well, you are speaking my language, that's for sure. I love that.
You know, like I said, kindred spirits. So,
yeah.
so JamieNowak.com, you can check me out. You can check out the book. I have a free resource there for people too, just to
Awesome.
kind of dip your toe in the water and get started. Here's what we know. It's not easy work, but
So
it's
true.
worth it, because what are we working on? We're working on building our best life. I think that's the best project you could ever work on.
So true. And it's
Spoken from-
hard, it's hard work, but then you feel so lighter as you're doing it, right? As you get to the other side, it's like, oh, why wasn't I doing this earlier? But all in the right time.
Yeah, well, that's right. Timing is everything.
Well,
Timing is
that's
everything.
amazing. We'll put it in the show notes too. And I just love everything about that and you. And thank you so much for coming on and sharing.
Thank you so much, Jamie.
Oh my gosh, this has been
Conversation.
my pleasure. This is a highlight of my week so far, and I'm just grateful
Aw.
because these conversations are really what matters. And so hopefully something we said can help somebody. But if I could give one tip before we go, it's do something nice for yourself every day. Like take 5
Love
minutes
it.
and sit and enjoy your coffee without feeling like you have to do 7 other things at the same time.
Right? Drink it hot.
Yeah.
There you
Don't
go.
keep trying to warm the damn thing up. Like, how many days you're like, where did it go? Oh,
know,
yeah.
Wait, let me just have a
Find
sip
it.
of my cold coffee here.
I love it. I love it. Drink it hot. I love that. That somebody needs to tweet that, especially for women. And we are all CEO mamas, right? Whether you have kids or not, because we are connecting communities. We are building businesses. We are running households. Like we're magic and
So
powerful,
true.
right?
Yeah.
So take care of you first.
Right. It's
Do
like
one nice thing for yourself. And I would even say, do it in the morning, do it in the evening.
right.
If you're overwhelmed,
treat yourself twice.
Start there. Yes. If you're overwhelmed, start there. If you're working through something horrible, start there.
So true.
Love
You
that
know?
message.
So I
love
kept us there a
that
little bit
too.
longer, but I love to give some practical application. Like, what one thing could I do right now to feel better? Go take a walk and breathe
Right.
without your damn weapon of mass distraction.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly.
Leave it for 10 minutes. Like, leave it.
Yeah.
You can leave it unattended. It's shocking.
Yeah. And that was the cell phone for those of you not watching.
Oh, right.
Weapon of
Sorry.
mass distraction. That's a good one.
It's so good.
Woo,
It's
man.
so true. It's like it can serve a purpose when we maybe we're learning or engaging in something, but it's so true. It just can be such a distraction.
Protect your precious time and your precious priorities. That's what I say.
So true. I love it. Well, thank you for sharing that tip too. So helpful and such a great reminder for us too. So thank you so much, Jamie.
It's
Thank you,
been my pleasure,
Jamie.
ladies. So happy to be here.
Okay,
and I hope to
everyone.
connect with so many more people. Join me on Instagram and let's connect that way together. And who knows? Who knows what could happen?
Yeah, right. Exactly. We'll all drink our coffee hot together. And connect.
Amen, sister. Let's go.
Okay, we'll put your Instagram in the notes to make it easy. So everyone check out Jamie and connect with her. And until next time.
Till next time.
Blessings, everybody.
Please click and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. And if you would like to learn more about readings and coaching with Chris and Amy, please visit chrisatley.com. Until next time.